Love you 3,000!
Ano habak 3,000 from UAE?
Love you 3,000!
Ti amo 3,000.
Para kami dahil 3,000.
Welcome to another edition of Coach Miranda Minor's Daily Technical Charting, Fundamentals, Improvement of Trading Quotient, and everything about crypto all in one channel. Hey Miranda, good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Coach Miranda Minor, and I'm actually the CEO and President of the Global Miranda Mining Corporation. We are in the business of helping and teaching our beginner students on how to be effective and profitable in the cryptocurrency trading world. In this particular video, I'm going to be doing an English series learning videos that's going to be useful for beginner traders within the Philippines, outside the Philippines, and wherever you are in the world. In this particular video, I'm going to teach you the basics and the mostly used drawing tools in our Tradingview. For people who have no Tradingviews yet, if you actually have Instagrams or even those that are embedded charting tools in your Binance or BingX, those are actually based on an API within the Tradingview tools. So it's also available, the functionalities are also going to be available on those particular platforms, considering they're also within the Tradingview platform. So without further ado, let's already go on with our lecture for today. Basically, you're actually seeing the platform, which is Tradingview at this point, and we're just going to look into these good-looking small girls and guys within the left side of the window. Basically, you have all of these drawing tools that you need to be able to master to be effective in everything that you do in charting. Let's start first with this guy here. It's called a trend line. A trend line, obviously, you can actually use a trend line to be able to connect important price points and be able to look for a trend, whether it's downwards or upwards. Basically, the rule of thumb in creating trend lines is the more, the merrier. So basically, you just need to make sure that the connecting lines or the lines are actually connected within a particular trend line. And by the word itself, it's actually trying to create a trend. So for example, you're actually creating or wanting to connect these two price points. Obviously, you need to click on the trend line, obviously. And then another one, for example, is you would like to be able to connect these three lines to be able to see if there's actually a trend. Then you just need to click on the trend line to be able to see if there's actually a particular trend or not. In this particular case, you can actually use the trend lines to see if there's actually a breakout or a breakdown in a particular trend. If you're going to use and look at Bitcoin as an example, okay, I'm going to be using Bitcoin as an example here real quick. So basically, when we use our, when we use our Bitcoin USDT, obviously, let me just make sure I have the right file here, so I don't miss out on anything that's very, very important for us. Okay. All right. So in this particular case, I already have a preset of a Bitcoin USDT file. And in this particular case, you will notice that I've actually used this particular trend line, a downward trend line, to be able to connect these important points. And also from a support perspective, I also have used this particular trend line to be able to map out these important support areas, which would tell me that there is a potential strong support within these connected lines. Okay, another thing that you can actually use are arrows, rays, extended line, trend angles, horizontal line, vertical lines, cross line, etc. Parallel channels are actually used to be able to create a channel. For example, we actually are going to use the same vertical trend line, and we just need to stretch it out up until the latter part or the lower part of the trend. We just need to make sure we catch that particular trend, and eventually you're going to be able to create a parallel channel already. Another example of that is going to be this. Let me just make sure I delete this. Parallel channel, be able to connect the resistance lines here, obviously, and be able to drag them down at the lower part of the channel for you to be able to see that there's actually a channel within this particular trend. Okay, and obviously there's a downward trend or a breakdown of a parallel channel. More to come on that in our beginner class or in the university. By the way, we're also conducting our Trading University. Please visit us in www.globalmirandaminor.com for more details of our course. Obviously, after that, we obviously look at the other mostly used trend lines or drawing tools within this trend line family. Obviously, you have the vertical line as well. Vertical line is actually used when you would like to see the particular candle and where is it actually connected in a particular oscillator. As an example, if you would like to make sure that you know if MACD has already created a bullish signal and you would like to know at what particular candle did it show a bullish signal, you're going to pull up your vertical line, and then you just need to click on or find the right candle that can help show to you what particular price or candle already did you see a potential bullish cross. Okay, in this particular case, you will notice that the bullish cross at the bottom of the oscillator, or the oscillators, have actually created a bullish cross within this particular candle. Okay, all right. So let's now try to get rid of all of the other drawings. So to do that, just be able to click on this trash button, or if you would just want to hide them temporarily because you would like to see again the bigger part of the screen, you just need to make sure that you actually just click on hide. This is actually the I button. Just need to click this one, and that will hide all of the drawings. Otherwise, if you would like to just get rid of all of those, then just need to click on this garbage icon or trash icon. All right, the next one. This particular family of tools will help you understand that help you in terms of pinpointing or creating an emphasis in the chart. As an example, if you would like to say from a trend perspective, you're actually seeing that there's a potential trend here, price point to go down. You just need to make sure that you click on or hold your mouse pointer to be able to draw this particular illustrations in your chart. So just click on this brush button. It's actually a brush, and be able to do these things. Now, if you would like to again do the same thing, delete that and just click on delete. Right, and then the other one, you can actually choose a highlighter. The highlighter will actually obviously highlight the particular part of the chart that you would like to highlight. Normally, this is actually used by traders who are actually more of a visual trader. They just wanted to see and highlight a particular trend. And obviously, you can change all of this by pulling up this option. This option will always come out as an option for you depending on whatever drawing tools you will be using. For example, in this particular case, you actually have used the highlighter. You wanted to change the color. Maybe you want to make it color yellow, and then obviously the highlighter will then turn yellow. If you would like to lock that, and then obviously you would like just to use this in any part of the chart, then you could obviously lock it, and obviously when you lock it in place, it would not be removed, just in case you change your time frames here. You can actually again delete all of that. Okay, another one that's actually mostly used, obviously for me, is the use of triangles. Triangles, obviously, when you're actually creating a trend lines, then it's important for us to be able to click on and create triangles. So we're going to do a particular demo of that here. So for example, you would like to see, or you would like to know if there is a potential apex of consolidation, or APEXY. Obviously, there's a trend line here, and you need to put a horizontal line here for a common support as an example. If you would like to emphasize that there's actually an apex, you will just use a triangle and just click on draw a triangle here, and it's going to be what I normally use to be able to draw a particular potential consolidation within that apex. Okay, just again click the trash button to get rid of all of those babies. Another one that you can actually use is the polyline. Polyline is actually a drawing tool that would help you mark particular lines depending on the price points that you would like to mark. For example, and again, this is just for illustration purposes, and please do not use it. Do not try to learn it at this point because I teach this in depth in the classes. So for example, just click on the Fibonacci's here as an example, or maybe we do a reverse Fibonacci from swing high, swing low, and then end of the impulse. And then obviously you would like to be able to know, or maybe plot for illustration purposes, on how would you want the trend line to go even higher, or how would you want the trend to go based on your forward testing. Maybe you can then use, for example, you would like to put a 618 trend here, and you would like to kind of draw and tell yourself, you know what, I think that the trend will go upwards, and eventually you could use a polyline that shows is going to be the potential trend, depending on how do you forecast the trend to be. And obviously you could use polylines. Okay, just another example there is the use of polylines. So we'll now move on with, of course, creating your texts. No, so obviously in your chart you can actually create text. For example, this is your this is going to be a chart called Miranda Minor Profitable Chart. And then maybe you can actually do a color code. Maybe you would like to use something that actually just boosts the color in front of you. So just click on that, maybe, and even change the background of it. Maybe you just wanted to have a color blue, or something that's actually contradicting the background for it to be really come out as a very noticeable or obvious naming, or formatting. And another thing that you can actually use here is what you call your call out or balloon. So for example, you would like to call out that this was your buying area. Okay? And this is now your selling area as an example. So obviously you can use this particular drawing tool to be able to call those out. Okay, you can actually also use balloons, price labels, price notes, and so on and so forth. Well, you can actually use some price notes as well if you would like to, right? So if you'd like to really understand what does that price is, then you can actually use that. But if you would like to kind of change the naming convention or what's inside the balloon or the text, then just need to click on text as your preference. Okay, in this particular instance, I'm not going to be teaching you Elliott waves and how to draw your ABCD patterns because it's very, very technical for beginners like you. For Fibonacci's, for the drawing tools within this particular family, long position is actually created to draw your risk and reward ratios. In my university, I always teach that you use a 2.0. So that means that if your target line is within this area, then your stop loss should be lifted. So at least you get to see this one increasing to a 2.0. Okay. Another thing is to do when you do shorting, you're going to be just doing the same. Just make sure that your risk reward ratio is actually 2.0. Okay. I also teach that in the university, by the way. If you would like to also look at how long was the trend is, for example, from a date range, you start here from the bottom to the top. Let's see how long was this. This is actually almost 17 days or 17 bars. If you would like to know how deep was the drawdown or the retracement, you can actually use price range or price range tool, just click on the swing high to the swing low. It will give you a 23%, 23.39 drawdown. If you would like to do both, you can actually just click create, just click on date and price range from here, from this swing low to swing high. Swing low to swing high, there's actually a a 17-day upward trend on a 40.35% price improvement. Okay. All right, those are the mostly used drawing tools. Of course, you have your arrows, different types of arrows. If you would like to insert icons, for example, you'd like to click on like. No, you would like to click on like here, right? You can actually do those sort of a little bit of a cute looking icons. And if you'd like, for example, to see a check mark, and it's up to you, and you can actually even color them by clicking on this cute looking menu here. Just click on the colors, and then they will adjust depending on how would you like them to be. All right, of course, we're also going to be zooming in if let's say, for example, that the trend line is actually very, very small and you can actually not look at them. And we will not be discussing this yet for the purposes of our focus. But for example, the trend line is very, very small like this, and you really cannot see the trends. So maybe you just need to click on the magnifying lens and hover that to the place that you would like that to be magnified. So in this case, if you click that, there you go, you could see it more. Or you try it one more time, you could see it actually and trying to magnify, so you could actually see those good looking candles. You could also actually use to expand this one. If you would notice what I'm trying to do with my mouse, I'm actually expanding the price range, so that, and then of course I will hover over the time axis, and actually I could just expand them, so at least I get to see the candles even better. Okay, just click on the negative zoom out sign for this to revert into the original position. And of course, you can actually click on stay in drawing mode if you would like to just stay within the drawing mode, and you don't need to if you don't want to change your drawing tools, you just want to lock it in there, then you could just click this one. And if you actually are in the trend line, then it will stay on the trend line wherever you guys like this, no? To just whatever you would like to do. Okay. All right. And of course, you also can click lock if you would like to click on all the drawing tools. And of course, if you would like to hide all of the things that you have done, as an example, just click on hide and it will hide all of this. And of course, click on the trash can if you would like to get rid of all of those drawings. All right. In our next learning series, I'm going to talk about what are these functionalities, the symbol searches, the time frames, the types of candles, what is the comparison all about, what are the basic indicators, and how can you actually use templates, etc., etc., etc. That's Huy ka, Miranda. Thanks for watching our episode for today. Please don't forget to visit me in www.globalmirandaminer.com for you to be updated for everything that's actually happening in our company, in our community. I also would like to invite all of you to be able to also check me out in YouTube. Please go to Miranda Miner or Coach Miranda Miner, and please click on subscribe. And please also click the bell button and click all for you to get updated for everything that we're actually uploading, whether it's live or an uploaded video. Also, you can actually check out our website and look for our courses. In our courses, you can actually check out all of the upcoming classes in learning cryptocurrency, etc., etc. By the way, I'm also available in Twitter, and please follow me there in Mining Miranda for you to be updated for all of my tweets and everything that I'm actually posting and checking, and also something that interests me in any time of the day. I'm actually tweeting there. For example, a lot of the live that I'm gonna be doing, I'm actually tweeting all of that ahead of time, etc., etc. That's it, guys. Maraming salamat for following me and supporting our channel. I love you 3,000.